Hey, what's up, Bonehawk? Shujinkydink here. Welcome to a video all about Justice 2. I think this is part 3 and probably the final part of my Learning to Play Injustice 2 series. I think I've covered everything from the basics for the most part. If I'm incorrect on that, post in the comments below and maybe I'll make a fourth one. If you haven't watched the first two, you might miss out on some things here, so give those a watch. And yeah, today we're going to talk about two things. Probably be a bit of a shorter video. We're going to talk about a couple of game-specific mechanics, the meter burn roll and the air escape, and also stages, advantages to using them and when to switch. So let's get into it.
Accept your death.
So we'll talk first about the meter burn roll. It is basically, I mean, you roll, but it's a meter burn dash. So you do your dash where you press forward twice, and then you press whatever your meter burn button is. Mine's set to R1 because I generally play on a fight stick and it's just easier for me that way. The trick to this is, it can be a little tricky timing-wise. You have to press the meter burn button before the dash is finished. So if the dash finishes and you press the meter burn button, nothing's going to come out. You have to do it pretty quickly, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, meter burn roll. So there you go. So that's kind of the input, getting the input out of the way there. Now, where would you use this meter burn roll? You would ask, and I would say, well, let me tell you. Let me show you where you'd use it. So we got Dr. Pew 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 over here, Pierce Brosnan standing at the other side of the screen, just throwing stuff at us, just throwing, hugging little balls, and you can't get through anything. That's where this meter burn roll becomes very useful, because it's invincible in the middle of it. So you can actually just roll straight through projectiles and stuff. Let me see if I can give you an example. There you go, we rolled right through it. You do have to be careful because there are a couple frames at the start of the meter burn roll where you can still get hit out of. And there's a couple frames at the end where you can get hit out of as well. So there is a little bit of recovery there where you could be a little bit at risk. So just keep that in mind. You kind of want to aim it for, you know, when you're about to hit whatever projectile whatever you want to go through, you're about halfway through the roll. And there you go. Now you're all the way in Dr. Pew Pew Pew's face, and what's he going to do? You're going to teabag him, right? Because we don't like people who spam? Is that how it goes? Another place that you might use the meter burn roll is when you're stuck in a corner. Let's say the corner is not a good place to be. It's probably the worst part on the map to ever be stuck in, because opponent can just kind of go. They're not pushing you any farther away from them. You're stuck in this little corner. Definitely a hard advantage for your opponent. But meter burn roll, because we have that invincibility, we're going to roll right through them. Oh, now they're in the corner. Huzzah! 4-3. A little teabag. No, but seriously, this is a really good option. This is a little bit more of a higher level thing, because you do have to know when you can start that meter burn roll, because like I said, you can get hit out of it. So you want to make sure that you understand your opponent enough to kind of know, okay, I can do it right now. Otherwise, you're going to get hit out of it, and you're going to lose a bar meter, and then you're in a worse place than you were before. So timing is a little bit more important. You probably won't start using this type of tactic right away, but once you start to play and become familiar with it and stuff, against the AI and stuff, it's probably a pretty easy thing to surmount, because they don't really do much in the way of frame traps unless you have it on like very hard or something, in which case have fun with that. But if you play online at all, you know, it is getting to know your opponent and what they're doing and that kind of thing. Don't meter burn roll yourself into the corner unless that you have some big brain read or you have a huge life lead. Just it wastes the bar and puts you in a disadvantageous spot. So that's kind of my my thing on meter burn rolls. The last part where you could use it, again, a little bit more of a high level thing, is to cause an attack to completely miss. Kind of like the orb, but you know, maybe you want to do an actual physical attack or something, and you want to go to the other side of them and punish. That's an option as well. But those are basically the ways to use the meter burn roll. Easiest way to actually perform it in itself. And yeah, if you have questions about that, we're going to move on to the air escape. So this can be a bit of a difficult mechanic. I'm not exactly 100% sure how I feel about it, but it's there and it's there for you to use. So you can use 2 bars of meter to get out of a combo. You can either do it upwards by pressing up and then meter burn, or you can press back and meter burn to air escape out backwards. So I have Dr. Fate set to upwards here. That's how it looked like. So let's say if I tried to do my combo here, Oh, I miss. And now he comes down and he punishes me. Let's set him to away so you can see what that looks like. Away. Again, I miss. I jump attack, and he can try and punish. It does take 2 bars of meter to do this, so make sure that you're pretty certain in the read that you're doing it. I'll show you one negative part about it that you should be aware of. So we go air escape up. Okay, I'll hit it this time for sure. There, so I actually punished him after. So keep that in mind, that you can actually be punished for doing this, so you really want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Let's see if I can show you something backwards. There's a punish. So I read that he was going to do the backwards one, and we punish with the thing, you know? Technical terms only around here. So this is an option. It's an expensive one, but like there are times where like you have to do it, otherwise you'll literally die. And that's your only option. Then you have to make the read between like up or an away and hope it comes out. So like I said, I don't really know how I feel about this mechanic, but it's there to help you, and it has saved my ass a couple times. So just be aware of the mind games behind it. AI, especially at the harder levels, can be really tough with this. And of course online, you know, if someone's really paying attention to your meter, they can get a good read on when you're doing this. And that's another thing why meter management is so important, because both these things we just talked about, air escape to meter burn roll, you do need to watch your meter, because if you just kind of panic and do it, and that was your only bar, well, maybe you got in, but or you got only 2 bars, you got away, but like now you have nothing for offense. So you know, you want to weigh that option, and that's something that's a little bit higher level, but you'll get there the more you play. So I did want to touch on those 2 things. If you have any questions about either one, comments are down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Let's move on to stages now. The first thing on stages I wanted to talk about is the background bounce. So background bounce is usually used in a combo to get more damage, because you can usually do a back 3 afterwards. So if I do a combo like this here, basic combo 311. Now I'm going to go and do a similar combo, just using the background bounce as my launcher instead of the full 1, 2, 3 string. So we get way more damage because we are able to link that jump 3 followed by a jump attack. I find that's pretty consistent, jump 3, back 3, jump attack. So yeah, that's how we can kind of use this. So we have this basic launcher here, but instead of just using the launcher, we use the background bounce as our launcher. That's kind of how to keep that one in mind. And you know, you can go to practice mode and go through the stages and see which ones have background bounces and see which ones don't, kind of play around with them a bit. One cool thing about this particular stage though is you see the little elephant tusks there. If you hit this background bounce, boom, one tusk comes loose. You see the Batman's feet there. We can actually use it to attack by holding down and pressing the background bounce button. Pretty cool. So this kind of has 2 uses, although the second one is only a single use. Maybe you could put it into a combo or something. It's just a fun option to have, and I really like that detail. You know, you're kind of getting 2 different things out of one background bounce. So keep your eye open for things like that. It's all over the Injustice universe, and you can find different ways to use them. Okay, so next we have jump interactables, and these again are good for a couple uses. So you can, I'll just show you here, there you go. You have to jump into the air first, and then you press your interactable button, and Batman will do a little jump off of there. Boop. You have similar one with this one, which is kind of dive bomb kind of deal. So these are good, like this one in particular would be good if you need to get out of the corner. You can have to create a little bit of space here, but then boom, you jump, and away. It also works really good if Dr. Pew 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 over here is shooting stuff at you non-stop. You can't really get close. Again, instead of using the meter burn roll, use that. Jump and close our space. Jump over his projectile. Sorry. And we're in if we're having trouble with the zoning, which and the keep away, which is, like I mentioned, is pretty prominent in this game. So that's definitely one you're going to want to use. There's different instances of this, again, all over the Injustice universe, and not always things like that, but I'll try and give you a couple more examples before the end of this video here. Alright, so finally we have an actual attack interactable here, and this is kind of where I want to talk about different types of characters because some characters will trigger these in different ways. Batman, for example, you're just standing here, you just press the interactable button, cuts the rope, comes down on Dr. Fate's head, you know? Simple as that. Pretty easy peasy. We're going to switch over to Dr. Fate, for an example, who is what's considered a power character. And Dr. Fate can't do anything with this thing. He's trying to trigger it. It's like, well, how do I use this thing? Well, because he's a power character, he's a Bunga Bunga, he just grabs it and smashes you with it. So you really have to play around with your character and see how they use these different interactables and see what kind of character it is. I think there's 3 different types. A gadget type, I'm not sure what the term is, a light type, and then kind of the strong type, which is like Dr. Fate, Superman, that kind of thing. You just kind of brush you with things. So this video is actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. That's pretty good. So, and again, you use this to try and get some extra damage, maybe bait a wake up or something like that. And yeah, let's show you a couple more examples on some different stages here. I had to mute the tunes for this stage because WB are kind of doo-doo heads about some things for this, but just want to start with this stage in particular because it is very unique in what we're talking about here. Of course, background bounce. That's the combo, but whatever. It is present on this stage. Just the 2 side things are what I wanted to show you here. Reset position, left. So we have this corner, and this is one of the better corner escapes in the game. So if you're playing against somebody who's just swarmed you in the corner and you can't get out, you may be best to try and switch the stage if you can, if you're not in like story mode or something like that, and try and get to a stage that has some sort of a corner escape. You see, Firestorm runs and he jumps over his opponent. Now, that being said, you have a second option off this one as Firestorm. If you hold down and... what's that shape? X. I'm an adult, ladies and gentlemen. He'll actually do a dive kick and kick his opponent in the face. Boom! You're actually plus on block, I believe, for this. This is a really good interactable, and you can actually meter burn interactables as well for like a hit of armor. So that way if Superman tries to hit you, you can also do that. So there's so many different things to play around with when it comes to interactables and how they're used. So if we switch it around here and we actually have Superman. Superman does a stupidly strong attack here. Boom, where he just drops that on your head. And you have to block that standing. If you're ducking at all, it'll hit you. And you know, there's a little bit of recovery there, but he can keep doing it. Boom, it never runs out. He can just keep doing it. Seems a little bit unfair. This little corner thing is for both types of characters. It's kind of broken. Also, a little thing you can throw here. Batman will, or Superman will throw it right away, whereas Firestorm kind of does this kicky thing with it. Kicks it towards you, so you either have to block it or jump over it. So this is just kind of fun, showing you like the different ways that characters can interact with things. We're going to move to the other side now. We have this little unit right here. See, they always flash like white when you can use them, just so you know. Firestorm will zap you with it. And then again, he can use it over and over again. Blah, 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 you're getting close. Oh, I'll zap you again with it. You know, you're getting close. Zap you again with it. Until Superman kind of says, you know, I've had enough of that. And breaks up, bam. Now Firestorm can't use it at all anymore. So if you're having trouble with that, and you're playing like a strong character, just get rid of it. Destroy it. There's lots of stages where you have things that are reusable, and some of them are pretty obnoxious. There's this laser beam on one of the stages. Super obnoxious. So you want to get rid of that as soon as you can. So, yeah, I think that's it when it comes to interactables and stage usage and all that kind of stuff. Just remember, if you're having trouble with a matchup, remember your stage usage, change the stage, because sometimes that can change a matchup completely. I think that's it, guys. I will link the playlist that I did years ago for a bunch of the other stuff, frame data and all that kind of stuff, if you want to continue watching. Or if you have enough suggestions that I can make another video on more beginner stuff, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do it. I'm a dink of the people, you know? This is a dinkmocracy, not a dictatorship, so. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos almost every single day. #Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you guys in the next video.